Have you ever felt that you're on the edge of something in your business, but that there was still this piece of the puzzle that was missing? If you have ever doubted your direction, felt overwhelmed by the pressure of the business you think you needed to be building, what I'm going to be sharing in this video is for you, and really dedicated to answering this question of figuring out who are you in business. Now, let's talk a moment about the catalyst for change. I remember that for me personally, it all began with actually a very difficult conversation. And I remember I was full of nerves, my heart was pounding. I was actually about to meet my boss to let him know that I was about to take a career pause for 3 months to figure myself out. And the conversation, as it all ended, I mean, he was surprised, all of that stuff, but otherwise it went pretty okay. But it was basically the starting point of a chain of events that followed from there on. There was a new job that fell through. I got deported from the country with seemingly no way home that ultimately snowballed, and it all turned out to be the best thing that universe could have actually thrown my way. And this is really often where it all starts. There's a catalyst or an event of some sort that disrupts your journey. It speaks to this deeper need that is buried deep inside you. And maybe you've had a few of those as well. But it's about really making sure that you're paying attention and listening to life's wake-up calls and not seeing these as setbacks, but as opportunities to connect with your deeper needs and aspirations. Investing in self-discovery is the next thing that I want to talk about. Now, this first hump was really daring to actually invest in myself, and this went from what felt like initially sort of small change to something a lot more scary very quickly, and it was also completely not what I expected that I was going to get out of it. So let me take you back a little bit. At the time, I was about 4 months into business. I was working freelance consulting for some people in my network, but I also knew that I had no idea how to scale what I was scaling, and I needed help. I thought to myself, if I believed in this, why the hell wouldn't I invest? And in my head, I thought what I needed were strategies, know-how, all of that stuff. What I probably wasn't prepared for was actually a lot of the inner work that was linked to healing relationships and letting go of my then identity, which was very much this corporate girl, professional success, holding on to safety, professional perception, all of that stuff, and letting go of my own inner judgment, which was actually projecting into the judgment I was feeling from others that looked at me, which then helped me to strengthen who I was at my core and open up that space to really ask the questions that would be foundational to shaping my business. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into the whole investment piece. That may be something I cover in another video, but this is what I was really wanting to share, that in hindsight, what I realized in this, investing in that journey of self-discovery was it was not so much about the financial investment, but that believing in myself to elevate my potential to new heights. And it was as much about the business growth as it was about healing the relationships that would then unlock a part of myself that had been hidden deep in the shadows, shedding my corporate identity and asking the pivotal questions, to identify who am I in business? And this is a big piece of the self-discovery work that will be crucial to align yourself to the business that you're truly building. It's not just about building any type of business. Anyone can go and start freelancing or consulting and get it up to 6 figures really quickly. It's about building a business that you love, one that is connected to your heart and also monetizing. And that is a completely different game to simply building a business that makes money. Now, I'm not going to lie, from there, it wasn't a straightforward path, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the challenges that I faced. I stumbled, my business partner joined me in business, and together we stumbled. And in that space that was created with the whole self-discovery, I filled that space with basically all of the wrong solutions. I implemented template strategies, I ran group programs, selling knowledge. I built a team, ran a full agency while working basically double, moonlighting in the evenings and weekends to build my coaching business, which was really what I wanted to do on the side, but not paying myself. Got completely burnt out running 2 separate businesses, running a team, all of that stuff. But what I did also do during that period was to continue to be able to serve at every single stage, helping clients to the best of my abilities. I experimented, I learned. I really got down and dirty with just like rolling up my sleeves and learning a hell of a lot about brand building, about content, about funnel strategies, and about marketing. And think about that early phase in your own career. You probably also made a whole bunch of mistakes and threw yourself in and tried out lots of different things, and you weren't as pro as you were about 15, 25 or 30 years in. So why should it be any different when you actually launch a business and start out again a career as an entrepreneur? So for me, it was really a crucial period to realize that all of this was not wasted, because it was what helped to prepare me to enter into a new phase with a clear head in business. So embrace that challenge, identify, appreciate that identity shift that is moving you away from and towards whatever it is, whether it's moving away from your identity in the past as a workaholic, people pleasing, doing stuff all the time just to prove that you're being useful, but also know where you are going actually with all this. Now, the fourth part, I'm going to talk a little bit about how perspectives shift as you go through the different phases. Now, business is going to come with a lot of phases of change, and it's not going to be immediate. It's not always going to feel welcome. And in my case, I went through phases of life where I had to reevaluate as well as, realign my identity. Now, becoming a mum was a big part of that. It really forced me to reevaluate my priorities and realize that the path I was on simply wasn't sustainable. And it was also what prompted a second massive shift in my identity, steering away from people pleasing and just like doing as much as possible towards a much more sustainable and clear-headed vision of our business and who I needed to be and act within that business. For me, it wasn't just about this, life shake-up. It was what made me say to myself, hang on a second, I didn't get into business to work again 80 or 90 hours and not have time for my child. Often what we think is doing more is more, but doing more is actually what is holding you back from really being able to scale, because it's keeping us trapped in this endless treadmill of activity instead of focusing on your long-term vision and goals and strategically building towards that. So this self-discovery phase is really crucial to get that initial grounding and anchor towards that. And it's also where the foundation of the business that will truly resonate with you is going to start taking shape. So the last part I'm going to talk about before I close off this video is finding your voice. Now, finding your voice is often the part that people find the hardest, including myself, because it often requires us to overcome the fear of rejection and doubt and judgment, all of that, while letting go what isn't actually you and embracing the true you. And this was very much me early in the journey. I found myself rejecting the real story, that story I told you in the beginning about getting deported, job falling through, all of that stuff. It was never something I would ever share. I would share the glossy version, how I wanted to go into business to help women make impact and all of that. And yes, that is all still there, but the messy part of the story is also a big part of it as well. And it is also what is going to make your story a lot more relatable. And that has shown up in so many more significant moments during this business journey. So when I rejected the initial view of my brand voice that others told me that they felt from me, because I had a very different image of what I thought my brand voice should be, or the business that I should launch. I didn't want to launch the first step of what we do, which is around clarity, because I couldn't actually see the value of it. I thought that people wanted to buy marketing and campaigns, so I rejected even that possibility. Quite often, the thing that we feel the most triggered by is actually what is underlying the most, the core and also the unique part of your voice, your vision, and the thing that you have to offer in the world. So it might be worth to ask yourself, what is the thing that you're actually rejecting? Now, the journey of self-discovery isn't smooth, and I hid behind a polished narrative, avoiding the messier truths of my story for a very, very long time. So I had to come face to face with rejection, my own sense of rejection and doubts and all of that stuff, and even fighting to really embody it, to take on that role of the CEO. So how do you apply all of this on your own journey of self-discovery and authentic business building? Well, it starts by identifying your gifts. What is it that you truly desire? And having the courage to build that business that truly reflects your true self, knowing that this authenticity, this energy that you're putting out is what is going to attract people to you. And remember, you don't have to pretend to be someone that you're not. So this is a reminder not to give up on your heart. I truly believe this, that every single one of us has the potential for a greater story and impact. So don't give up on finding and following your heart in your business. This is a reminder to not give up on your heart. It really is possible to find that and then build the successful business around it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's part of a series of offer one-on-one stories, strategies, and resources that I would love to continue to share with you that have changed the game in our own business, but also for our clients. So if you liked it, I'd really appreciate it if you would give this video a like. Let me know in the comments what most resonated with you, and subscribe to this channel to get further tips how to elevate the potential of you as a business owner, embodying your true value, discovering your inner diamond, and creating that dream business that you fall in love with over and over every single day. See you next time.